Right, muckers, welcome back to the channel, and if you are new here, good to have you along. Now, after my recent live feeds, I've been getting some messages and that, people sort of saying, Mucker, we'd love seeing the stuff on the Facebook and the Instagram that you're doing, during the week. But can you film some of it? Could you take us along? All right, well, let's go then. Right, muckers, well, this is Wednesday night and the time is nearly 10 o'clock. And I'm in the old Ford Transit, Mark 6, crew cab tipper. Oh, she's a classic. And I am waiting to, let me just swing this round for you. I'm waiting to get on that ferry. So, yeah, basically, I'm going to go across tonight to Normandy. But once we get across there, I'll explain a little bit more about what we are doing. I'm only gone over for the day. As such, I'm travelling tonight, get there tomorrow, land tomorrow morning, work tomorrow, and then travel back tomorrow night, land Friday. So, a day over there and 2 nights travelling. But like I said, I'll explain a little bit more. But basically, we're going over just to get some equipment of ours that's been there, because we've been working on and off in Normandy for the last sort of 15 years. Right, so here we go. We're now going to go up the ramp. On the ferry. So you can see how they've sort of got the floors move up and down hydraulically. So the wagons there are full floor, and then look, this one's above us. Right, let's go and get some food first stop. Well, toilet first stop, then some food. So there we go. Got me steak, freshly cooked, mashed potatoes, peas, nice little tart for afterwards. Got some pretty mongoose milk and some orange juice. Then we got a fucking tree up. There we are. Anyway, so that is Portsmouth out there in the dark. We're heading across to Normandy. So there's the Spinnaker Tower. It's looking resplendent in the evening air. Oh, she's putting out a bit of cheech. Just see that, and look at that, look. Send it.
How dare you?
Oh, we still got the cheech. What a fucking treat. So you think, 80 years ago, June of this year was 80 years celebration of D-Day. And this is where the majority of the troops and equipment sailed from, all along this coastline here, and out of this river. And they were taking the same route we're taking. We're heading across to Caen. So Caen was Sword Beach, where the British landed, and the French. British and the French landed there. I don't know what engine she's got, but do sound nice. She's running well. I'll have to find out what she's got. Whether they're Sulzers or Vortiliers, I don't know. MTUs maybe. I'll try and find out if there's any information on her. But she does sound well. Right, that's me beer finished. The nice thing is about France that obviously you can drink and drive, do crystal meth and stuff like that. So I'm kidding. You can't do crystal meth. Obviously I've just got my cabin now, so we've got a sailing So it's about a 6-hour sailing overnight to France. So I don't know how many times I've been on this boat, but I'm totally lost. I think I should be the other side. Because normally I'm on my cabin number's 6135. Normally I'm in the 7s, which is just straight up, and where that duty free and it is sort of somewhere near there, you just head the other way. I'm on 6, as I said, 6135. And I just got to one side of the ship and then I had to go outside. I ended up outside. And I just didn't know where I was. I just, you couldn't even get back in. I thought, well, I'll just walk along outside. And no, you can't. There's no access. So I had to come all the way back. Met some strange character outside, though.
Can you condemn an innocent man, a friend, to a lifetime of solitude in your name while you roam free?
Yep, I'm good with it.
Yeah, I've got to go down this. So I think we're basically straddling the car decks as such. Whereas when you're on this level, you're above them. So there's all the cabins there. But they've obviously thrown me into the bilges this time. Right, finally got in. Oh, that's right. So this is what they call a 4-berth outside cabin. Obviously got a window, so it means I'm on the outside. They fold down, these beds here, if you want, if there's 4 of you in it. Obviously there's only me. So yeah, you can keep them up by the way for extra room. And you get, you know, loo and a sink, you have a washing, and you get a nice little shower as well. So there we are. I'll just check that some Spanish lorry driver hasn't taken a massive Gretel shit in there. No, that's all good. That's lovely. So yeah, there you are. You got your charging points and this, that, and the other. The alternative was a seat for £5. A bit like a coach seat. I've done that once. I spent the night on a crossing with a coach because it was no cabins. Only way to get back. Like I'll sit up in a seat and I can fall asleep. No, you can't. I ended up grabbing all my clothing and a jacket and everything and made a bed on the floor, which was more comfortable. So fuck your old £5 seat. I'll be paying £65 and having a 4-berth cabin with a shower and a shitter. So yeah. Anyway, right. I'm just gonna get ready for bed, and I'm gonna hit the sack because I am actually tired. So there we go. There's obviously plug sockets if you want them, and USB ports for charging your phone and everything. Yeah, so that is basically it. As I said, they're nice. They're a nice temperature, air conditioned and whatever. But yeah, I should do the old YouTube thing now. What every vlogger does. Well, I'll see you guys in the morning and turn the light off and all that. And you're like, you know, you're gonna fucking turn your light back on and get yourself ready and up properly once you've done your little bit to camera. But no, I'm gonna sit up and just have a quick look through the phone and whatever, watch a couple of vids, and yeah, then I'm probably gonna actually treat myself to a big old mud out, and then jump in the shower, and then I'll turn in because it's only 11:30. So yeah, I'll probably do that. Showers are really nice, as I said, on these, so I'll do that. Oh yeah, and I'll probably finish my fucking mongoose milk before I go to bed. I really don't know. It can't be cow's milk. So here we are. This is Thursday morning. It is 6:15 UK time, 7:15 French time. So yeah, just got up and down in the actual car garage. I opened that up. No, still dark. So we're now just heading round the outskirts of Caen. So the coast is to our right there. and that's obviously all the way along this route. To our right, along the coastline, are the invasion beaches from back in, World War II, D-Day. Right, we turn off here. You may have just seen the sign, but if you didn't, basically, get to a junction. We get to a junction here. We're gonna go left here, but to the right, just about a couple of miles down there, is Omaha Beach. So basically, if you can imagine, this road here is where they moved inland. After they landed on Omaha Beach, they fought their way inland in this direction, straight down here, working their way through. So on about D-Day +9, so like the 10th day after they'd initially landed, the American forces got to this point here, and they were heading to that other ridge line you can see over there, which is Mole. The trouble is, they got to about this point where you can oversee it, and on those meadows were some artillery pieces, German artillery pieces, and the Americans came under heavy fire. But just for a moment, let's just jump back to the beginning. This is Omaha Beach. Now, further down there is round the corner of that, where you see the cliffs. That's where you get into the Utah Beach sector, and up on those cliffs is where the big cemetery and that is. Then round the corner is Arromanches, which is Gold Beach. That was the British sector. But these up here are the cliffs where the German gun emplacements were, and machine gun nests, all looking down, covering this beach area with absolute murderous fire. So what we're looking at here, just round the corner, and I'll show you in a minute, is the causeway. One of the ways they actually got all the machinery and vehicles and men and equipment and guns and everything up off the beach, and were able to keep the supplies flowing inland. So this is, as I said, where they opened up the causeway, and you can see the memorial and all that there. And this is basically where they started moving their way inland, and as I said, that's where they got to that brow of that hill on D-Day +9. Well, this is the route they'll have taken to get there. So obviously this is D-Day, and then D-Day +1, so day 2 they'd have moved a bit further inland, +3 even further and further, having to fight their way up, clear out houses that were here and gun emplacements and stuff like that. Here's a lovely little museum. Been there several times. It's got some amazing stuff. You can see a Sherman tank there, and one of the beach obstacles, plus a German howitzer there. Look, more beach clearing stuff. So then the ground, and it starts climbing here. So they come off the beach, and as I said, the whole terrain starts to climb up. You're sort of behind the dunes here, and you're working your way up. If you ever do come here and visit, if you ever want some food, it's a great little place there. Just good, honest, simple food, and well worth a visit. Renault. What a beauty that is. Little MWM engine. So we'll jump back again. So D-Day +9, they reached this point, came under fire from the meadows over there, and they doubled back so they could then head this way to try and outflank the guns. Now as they came round the back, across the fields, and then down this hill, the meadows are across over there. However, once they got to here, there's a farmhouse just behind these trees, and they came under fire yet again from the Germans. So they called up assistance from a Sherman tank. So that Sherman was parked up on that hill just there, looking at the farmhouse from where the fire was coming from the German occupiers. Now, from his vantage point, the Sherman fired and took the corner out of the barn, right there. Now, rather than firing straight at the side of a building where you'll probably just put a hole in it, if you fire at a corner, you have a better chance of actually collapsing the building on those that are trying to attack you or to put, artillery or small arms fire in your direction. From there on, a battle ensued, and you can still see the scars of that battle today. You can see the stonework has been repaired there. These are bullet holes there, and also there, all around, in fact. Because they'd be firing at windows, obviously, because that's where the attackers, or defenders in this case, would be. The Germans would be in here firing out, and so the American forces would be firing back at them all around the windows. And that's where you're getting stuff like this damage, where the bullet marks are all around the actual doors and windows. Now, this isn't the original outer door. That's obviously been replaced. But this door is an original. And if you can see, they were able to blow off the front door, and parts of the grenade that they used, fragments of it, are still in the door here. And I can assure you that is as sharp as sharp. That's a grenade fragment. And then these, if you can close, you can see better, are bullet holes. They're still in the door. One in the bottom as well. And there are repaired chunks in the stairwell, stone stairwell, where the bullets hit and ricocheted and blew lumps out. And you can see it a lot better once you close this door. You can see where the light comes through, where all the holes are, all the way down the sides there. So once the farmhouse had been cleared, the American troops were able then to carry on in that direction down towards the artillery pieces on that meadow down there, and they destroyed them. And so that brings us all the way round as to why I'm here. Must be 15 years ago now. I was asked by the owners of this property, English owners, if I would come and do some work on a pond that they have down at the bottom, which we did. And then from there on, we would come back every year and do more and more work on the house over the last 15 years. And it's just been such a wonderful place. And they allowed us to treat it exactly like our own home. So, after World War II, when the farmer and everybody, local inhabitants, returned, they basically got all the stone that was left on the ground from the explosion from where the Sherman shell had taken the corner out, and they basically cobbled it back in, just made it sort of rough cast and just put it in to fill the hole, fill the gap. And I think over the years it'd come out again, little bits, they'd try to put it back in. The thing is, if you can see along that gutter line there, just along there, all that wall from here, all the way up, was out. To the point where you can even see now, look at the gutter, look at the actual downpipe. Do you see how it's got a kick in it? That's because the wall was actually touching it. It was out another sort of 6-7 inches from where it is now. And the walls are about sort of 2.5-3 feet thick in places. It's incredible just how big they are. Anyway, the owners wanted the wall to be made safe again and sturdy, and they asked us if we could do that. Now, with the help of some very talented people, and one of them, Peter, he had years of skill in working with both flint and stone and all types of different mortar, lime mortars and all that. And he was able to, over a couple of 3 visits, put that up there back where it should be. Put all that back in place. First, we had to put some scaffolding all inside to support the main bearing beams, the big timber beams. Take the weight off them, and then take that corner out. And then we were able to rebuild it. The thing is, though, you know, the fact that it was knocked out by a Sherman, pushing its way inland after D-Day, I didn't just want it to go back in and people never to know what had happened. And the owners agreed. So what we were able to do is do it to make it safe, but you can still see the scars. So if you look now, look, you can see from there, that all that corner, and down there and then back. We've pushed it back in, but look at that little bit there, look, we've kept it out where the actual wall corner had come out. Rather than go tight, we said we can tie that all in, but you can still see where that Sherman tank knocked that corner all out 80 years ago. But it's all tight and all tied in and lovely, but it keeps that story. We haven't erased history. We haven't lost the story of this building and the guys that fought here on both sides. So yeah, that's what we did. And then of an evening, we could come out here, have a little barbecue, and watch the sunset. It's just such a magical place. The owners are now in their late 80s, and the trek from the UK and back 5-6 times a year is taking its toll. And so they made the difficult decision to sell, and it's been sold. And with that, it's not, you know, obviously it's their property and their part of their life story has gone with that. But not just theirs. A big chunk of my life has gone with it as well. I absolutely love this place. Do you know, people talk about somewhere, well, it just feels like home. Well, coming here for me, even today, just feels like coming home. Will I miss it? Oh, you have no idea. But I have friends in this area, which is nice, and I'll always come back. I love this area. It's not just the house, it's the area, the people, everything that's gone on here, you know. But yeah, it's been a wonderful, wonderful time. And I've been so lucky to have this as part of my life. But nothing lasts forever, so they say. Right, so I just gone and bought a battery from the Renault dealer here. There's a little battery. And I'll let you guess what is going on. It's dropping off your leave here. Sort of like, you know, don't worry about it, mate. block the road off. We don't need all the paperwork, and we need a diversion put in place just for him to drop a machine off in 10 minutes. So got to go and get all the permits. No, just back up, mate. You're all right. And it works. It just works. It's getting on with it. Things look, traffic's flowing. He'll let us through in a minute. Job's a good one. No hassle. You don't need all the red tape. So, those of you that follow me on my Patreon channel will already be aware of this little gem. I am, of course, referring to the little Twingo. What a little treat. A genuine little French Twingo. Now, I suppose a lot of you are thinking, well, why are you bothering with the Twingo? Well, because the house is now been sold, there's no use for the Twingo. And to be totally honest, they sort of said, look, we're just going to scrap it. And I was like, you can't. You really can't. Basically, the Twingo was the little runaround that we all had over here. So you'd arrive in your car, but because if you wanted to go into town and you want to get in a tight parking space and you didn't really care if it got a little nudge or a knock, we would take the Twingo. But the thing is, nobody ever put petrol in the Twingo. Nobody ever checked the oil. Nobody ever checked the water. Nobody ever checked if the tyres were inflated or not. Nobody ever checked if the little Twingo needed any TLC except me. And I used to take it for a pressure wash in town and just keep on top of it because it used to get absolutely saturated with moss. Well, you can see here again, look, since I haven't been using it, how the moss is coming back. But it used to be really thick on there, like a bloody mobile garden. But we used to try and keep on top of the little thing. Got a few little battle scars, but all adds to the character. And they very kindly said, look, honestly, if you want it, you can have it. And that actually meant a lot to me because we've had some great times with this little thing. But here's the thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just take it down the road to some friends of ours. I've got to leave it there for a couple of weeks. Then I'm going to come back over with the trailer and we're going to take this back to the UK.
You have a license?
And then we're going to go right through this, do all the little jobs that want doing, probably put some new tyres on, stuff like that, service it, check underneath, you know, a bit of rust prevention, give it a really good clean. And then I'm going to come back in it over here and I'm going to tour all the invasion beaches and I'm going to film them as I go. And that way I'll be able to bring you lot along on that journey. And for me, it'd be incredible to go along and see all the invasion beaches. Not that it's going to be the first time for me, you know, but to be able to do it in the Twingo, that will be the icing on the cake. Yeah, I know, as I said, it's
It's a piece of junk.
but it's my little piece of junk. And it's just so loyal. See, I left this full and the bastard's empty. And it's full of sand. They've bloody well been to the beach. I know they have. Look at that, look. This was all cleaned out when I left the little thing. There you are, never mind. We'll carry on and yeah. Come and pick her up in a few weeks' time. Good little old Twingo. Well, for one last time, the best bathroom view ever. So, back on the ferry once more. Like I said, it's been an emotional day. Got a lot done, but you know, I don't want to be down about it. I don't want to be, you know, like this is a sort of sad sort of video. It's not. It's the end of one era and the beginning of another. You know, I'll be back, like Arnie said. But no, but I will. And there's the other thing. So the next chapter is I'm going to get that little Twingo, go and pick that up, bring it back to the UK, go through it, get it, you know, all the little things ironed out, make sure it's mechanically sound, then go back to France, go back to Normandy and visit all those D-Day beaches. And I'll do an episode on each beach, full episode on each beach, look around some of them museums, go to the actual locations of some of the battles and stuff like that. And for me, the nice thing is I'll be able to take you guys along, you know, because I know a lot of you love that sort of thing, because it's one of the most popular videos that I did back in the early days on my channel was the battlefield stuff. But anyway, so yeah, no, it's been a good day, and like I said, lots of happy memories. Some of my funniest times, some of the best laughs I've had, some of the happiest times were there at the farmhouse. We're just pulling out of Weestram now. You can probably hear they sort of rumbling around. And I did find out some information about the MV Normandy, this ship that we're on, Ferry. It has, and I was quite surprised by this. I said they might be Vortcilias. Well, they are. They're Vortcilia 12V32s, so they're big V12s. You've got 4 of them. And only 24,000 horsepower. Yeah, you having some of that? Madness. And here we are, back in the UK. Now, the old Transit done exceptionally well. She didn't miss a beat. And don't forget, she has got 261,000 miles on the clock. And like I say, just absolutely sung along, just perfection. So comfortable. That's the other thing I like about her. Now, we've got a few jobs to do to her now. I had a chip in the screen which developed into a crack, so we're going to have to get the screen changed out. And while I'm at it, I'll give the old girl a bit of a treat. I'll change a few oils and filters and stuff like that, and the axles, the engine, and so on and so forth, because I think she deserves it. Right, muckers, question time. Now, obviously we're doing the dumper, and we've got to sort out that steering, but there will be a lapse in time while we're sorting out parts or a replacement or whatever we've got to do to get that steering sorted. So in the meantime, we can sneak in another quick project. And you can choose that one. And that's what I want you to do. And you can put your answers down in the old squid pit in the comment section below this video. Now, I've got a couple of projects that I've obtained recently. And one of them cost me £250. And one of them cost me £400. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that the more expensive one is bigger or better. That I can assure you. But which one do you want to see me attempt to get running and moving, we'll say? £250 or £400? Just put your answers in the old squid pit below in the comment section. And the one that gets the most votes, well, that's the one we'll have a go at. So there we go, muckers. I hope that gave you a bit of an insight into some of the stuff we get up to in between trying to get other things running. But yeah, like I said, you choose the next video. Which one do you want to see? The £250 project or the £400 project? And also don't forget to give this video a like, a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you a penny, but it does make an enormous difference to the channel and this content that we can bring you. Oh, yeah. So, there we go, muckers. Someone's glad to see me at least. Until the next one. Do well.